In this episode, we tackle some pretty epic waves as we make our way to Antigua and Barbuda from Guadeloupe.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bad rap for worrying, but you guys have no idea.
Whoops. But we are rewarded with local music, hospitality, and food. And don't forget to subscribe. Good morning. We are headed to Guadeloupe today, and it's a nice morning. It's a bit breezy. Stefan's checking the engine out, making sure everything's gonna work. It's a dark cloud over there. Looks like it'll pass. What's going on?
I was sailing upwind and it started in 23, 24 knots. Now it's more averaging 20. Stay sail, one reef in the main. Just monitoring the sea state. It's not too bad. But we have about 3 hours sail. Everything goes according to plan.
A little bit of rain. And just as quick as it came on, the rain passed and we continued on.
So what do you think of the law of the fishing pots as we've crossed 3?
Yeah, the law of the fishing pots is the second you take your eye off it, they show up. They pop out from like underneath the water or something. So now we're like...
But somehow, all the 3 we've seen, we were like aiming straight for them.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
I don't know, but we're gonna have to, I'm like...
It's a little bumpy. Thinking the sea state will get better as we get closer to land. We still have 7 miles to go.
Well, we just had a wind acceleration.
Yeah, now it's going upwind. We have 21, 22. But the wind angle is good. We haven't had to tack.
Upwind and rainy, but we finally made it. Do you want to explain what's happening?
Baptiste is here from the yacht med. So they have an Outremer, and it's doing the warranty work. And so doing different tests, and then took that faulty pump with the sensor not working and plugged it on the starboard
Because
side.
we thought the bilge pump was broken.
At least the sensor was broken, and Outremer thought because the sensor was broken, that's what was triggering the fuse to blow, which was strange. And now we plugged it over there, and just you put your fingers on the sensor, and it works.
So you swapped it to the other side of the boat to see what would happen.
Yeah, just to eliminate.
And voila.
So the pump is working, but when we plug it on that side,
Now it seems we have a connection problem, which is always a scary thought in a boat. The electrical somehow isn't working, so. They're pouring water in the engine room.
we're curious, like how much water is needed to trigger.
So I'll try to cover this in a nutshell. We discovered that the pump in the engine room actually was the one with the faulty connection. So when the port or starboard pump was activated, it would blow the fuse, but act like the other one was blowing the fuse. We thought we had it fixed, but this is still to be continued.
Water and see if the sensor gets covered and start the pump.
So I'm gonna give an update, but I'm also looking for fishing pots. So I'm on watch. We're leaving Guadeloupe today to try to get to Antigua. The reason is because the next 7 days is a lot of wind. And so today's the least windy day. And it's gonna be a really sporty passage. The wind angle's okay once we get around the corner of Guadeloupe, the southeast corner of Guadeloupe. It's just we're upwind now. We're motoring into waves and dodging fishing pots. The waves are, there's a big one, about 2.5 to 3 meters. Yeah, so it should be a sporty day. We expect highs, regular average wind of about 20. With gusts, they are predicting up to 28, 29 knot gusts. So yeah, good times.
It'll be better when we turn the corner.
Why?
Because we'll have the wind and waves coming from past the beam. And right now we're like head on.
Yeah, the good news is there hasn't been a ton of slamming. The waves have been big, but very rarely do we get, it feels like, you know, a hard slam or something like that. Wind situation, high of 27.
So windy, still a bit bouncy, but we've accomplished phase 1, which was to go to this point east. Now we have a true wind angle of about 97. So that's good. Much better. The waves are still a little funky. We're hoping as we're getting into much deeper water, things will kind of line up. How are you feeling?
These are really big waves. So
what?
I wish they weren't very big.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, I have a bad rap for worrying, but you guys have no idea.
Whoops.
You guys aren't on the boat, so you can't see the waves I see.
Yeah, it's a little funky. Probably don't see very well. And but I'm hoping that things will get better. We have a two reef in the main, two reef in the Genoa. The boat is moving along between 10-12 knots with two reef in the Genoa, two reef in the main. That's pretty damn good. But there is also two banks kind of that are going from 700 meters of water like to 100. So we'll have to we'll definitely cross the first one, so we'll have to monitor the waves because they might get bigger temporarily. The second one we should pass east of it, so we should be good. But just something to monitor. A little baggy here, but we have the preventer, and mostly it's because we need to ease the main sheets. We're at the end of the Traveler, so to keep decent shape and also away from the shroud. And we're a little bit outside the limit of the 3D sheeting, so I rigged the barber hauler to get to close the top on the Genoa, and we still have two reef on the Genoa. We're moving kind of average, probably 10 knots.
A little lively.
Yeah. We have another 21 nautical miles.
Yeah, the camera doesn't actually pick up the size of the waves. Of course, now I turn the camera on and they don't look that big because you're kind of going with the flow of the waves, so it's hard to actually show how big they are.
Yeah.
But
You will need another boat
another boat next to us. Yeah.
So we're at anchor. We made it to Antigua. And we have our friends on the Outremer 5X forever now. How was your day?
I think there's salt all over the camera.
It's a sign of the day. Did you have a salty day?
It was salty.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm happy we're anchored and I need a shower.
And a good night's sleep? Because you woke up at 3 when you left the US, and we woke up twice at 5:30. So
yeah, 3 a.m. and 5:30 twice, so I'm a little tired.
We'll go check out tomorrow. A little too late tonight. Huh?
Check in.
Yeah, not check out, check in. It shows I'm tired too.
So we are getting gas, and Stefan is grabbing the gas tank, and we're gonna cart it over there to get gas.
So we just left the gas station where we filled the tank, and they say, "Do you have cash?" And Ollie's like, "Yeah, I have cash."
Because I have euros.
And then, yeah, but we are like
But I don't have EC.
EC territory.
But normally people take euros and then they give you change in EC,
So anyway.
So now I have to go find an ATM.
Now we have to find ATM, and we
Our gas tank got confiscated.
Yeah, it's held hostage until we bring the money back. But in good spirit.
So we're getting money, and we're taking money out of the ATM because we had to walk down to the other side of the harbor. And it said, it was fine, and then it said, ATM is out of service, right when I put in all my information. And then the lady comes and she says, oh, you have to push a different button, like don't push checking, push savings. And I'm like, well, I don't have a savings account associated with that card, but okay, and it worked. So I guess you have to game the system. So we got our gas back.
The hostage.
It was held hostage.
Been released.
This is the delicate dance between too much oil and not enough oil. What's it gonna be?
Well, because there's 50 to 1 and 100 to 1. And I think now we can do 100 to 1. But to be safe and to preserve the engine, we kind of go in between. So the problem is I don't have a 75 to 1, so I have to go in between.
He says, let us know in the comments for people that have a two-stroke engine. What ratio do you use?
50 to 1, 100 to 1.
50 to 1, 100 to 1.
75 to 1.
75 to 1. So this morning we're in a rental car again.
Driving on the wrong side
Driving on the wrong side of the road. Watch out for the dog. And we're headed out to have a little excursion, I guess, or experience. I wanted to take a Caribbean cooking class. I thought that would be fun, and learning about the spices and stuff like that. So we're gonna go to Nicole's table, which is recommended out here. Stefan also made an appointment for a chiropractor. So the thing, if you are used to getting chiropractor services, the thing with cruising is you can't always find them. And so we found one here on the island, but it's a 40-minute drive, so we rented a car and off we go. So we're at Nicole's table, which is just this lovely house she has with this incredible view. And just a beautiful little place. And this is the menu for today. So what's happening is we're, as a group, making the jerk, and we're doubling and tripling the batches. And since it's a group exercise, everybody forgot how much stuff they put in. So we're having to like recheck all of our math.
So we're going to do two different things. I don't have any ripe plantains.
Nicole learned to cook from her parents, who ran a restaurant on Montserrat when she was little. If you visit her website, You'll find a whole bunch of delicious recipes that you can make at home.
So same fruit, just different stages of ripeness. Okay.
So this is the tofu now. Are you excited for the coconut?
Yeah,
Looks good.
looks really good.
What did you think of that lunch?
Yeah, that was. I'm full, but that was delicious. Very lots of flavors.
Yeah, the food was amazing. I'm so full, but all the flavors were incredible. And Nicole, the host, she was just amazing and gave us a lot of local knowledge and information about the different spices. So that was really fun. How to cook callaloo and taro and a bunch of these roots that you're not supposed to cook like potatoes. So that was really helpful. A few days later, we walked up the hill to Shirley Heights. It's a lookout and barbecue. While we usually try to avoid big crowds, this was definitely worth it. Join us next time as we enjoy a chill downwind sail in light air to Barbuda, where we discover a hidden frigate bird sanctuary.